Who will end up with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? Just a year ago, this question would have seemed ridiculous. Vladdy was the future of the Blue Jays and should have been a lock to wear Blue Jays blue for life. But now, serious doubt is starting to creep in. Contract negotiations are stalling between the Blue Jays and Vladdy, and big-time trade rumors are starting to surface. Many analysts have even started referring to this time right now as a franchise-changing crossroads for the Blue Jays and for Vladdy. So is Guerrero's future in Toronto as certain as we once thought it was, or could a blockbuster trade actually be on the way? Before we dive into the latest surrounding Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the Toronto Blue Jays, I encourage you guys to hit that like and smash the subscribe button if you enjoy Blue Jays content and discussion. We are so close to 28,000 subscribers, and we would just love to get there by the end of the year. Alright folks, let's get into it. So to fully understand why Vladdy trade rumors have started popping up recently, we actually need to look at Juan Soto. Soto just signed the largest contract in sporting history for $765 million, smashing the expectations that many people had for his contract this offseason. Here's the kicker though. Soto was 26 years old when he signed his contract, which will be the exact same age that Vladdy is going to be when he hits free agency next year. Basically, the odds of Vladdy signing an extension now after seeing that are slim to none. And if you don't believe me, then just listen to what Joe Siddle had to say about this.
And I mean, if you want to talk about Vladdy, that's another one, but I don't see him signing. There's no way Vladdy's signing right now. I wouldn't if I was him, not after the year I just put up and I saw the money Soto got. Are you kidding me? I'm waiting till next year at this time where 4 or 5 teams are going to be offering me things that probably start with a 4, right?
It also doesn't help when both sides are extremely far apart on a proposed deal. Per ESPN's Alden Gonzalez, the Blue Jays and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. have been in talks about an extension, but are not considered to be close on one. Gonzalez noted that the hesitancy from Guerrero could affect Toronto's ability to bring in free agents, and reported that a trade could be coming if the two sides can't reach a deal. Combine this with reports from other GMs who believe the Blue Jays will be forced to trade Vladdy this offseason, and suddenly the trade speculation starts to feel very real. So with all that being said, what should the Jays actually do, and does a Vladdy trade even make sense for them? Well, it could. Ross Atkins and the Blue Jays management promised to try to be competitive again for next season. However, so far, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the free agency market, and the only really big change that we've seen this roster make is the Andres Jimenez trade. If this trend continues, no big moves, no progress on a Vladdy extension, the front office might have to pivot. At that point, exploring the possibility of a rebuild and trading Vladimir Guerrero Jr. might actually make sense. A trade like that wouldn't just bring back a massive haul of prospects, but it could really kickstart a total reset for this franchise. And something important to note is that even if the Jays do trade away Vladimir Guerrero Jr., it doesn't mean that they're never going to have a future with him. They could still go and pursue him in the offseason next year and try to sign him back even after trading him away. Now, while that rebuilding scenario makes sense on paper, if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't think the front office is going to do it. Atkins and company have a reputation for being very stubborn, and even if the offseason is quiet, I believe that they're going to stick to their plan to be competitive in 2025. But it's actually in this scenario where I think a Vladdy trade becomes the most likely, just not this offseason.
Whoa, time for a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video. Hit your picks and knock it out of the park with Betway. Scan the QR code down below to join the action. Only available in Ontario, must be 19 years of older to participate. Please play responsibly. Now everyone, back to the content.
Take a look at this projected lineup for the 2025 season. Without a major signing, say Pete Alonso or someone of that caliber, this isn't a roster that screams World Series contender. If the Jays are out of the race by next year's trade deadline and contract negotiations are still going nowhere with Guerrero, then there really is no point in holding on to him for a couple of meaningless months. Trading him at that point would probably be the best move to rebuild for the future. This is why this offseason is so critical, and it's why analysts have been referring to it as a franchise-altering crossroads. Do you cut your losses and get as much value from a Vladdy trade right now, or do you stick with the plan and try to go for it? And if you do go for it, then what happens if it doesn't work out? All of this commentary personally has me feeling sick, but the sad truth is that this is just the beginning. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go Jays go.